gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Horeshoes and Hand Grenades, a show that brings you the latest and greatest and odd and crazy news from all over the planet. We are like a theme park full of dinosaurs, except our dinosaurs are weird news, and they walk around potentially just making fun of themselves or, eating stuff, maybe climbing down chimneys at Christmas. There's really just self-destructive, these weird news stories, but we're going to find them, we're going to wrangle them, we're going to throw them into a really large pen with really high voltage with just me and Ashley to talk to, and we're going to see how it goes, and then we're going to invite all of you guys in, and then hopefully nothing bad happens, but we'll see, because this is the show, and I'm your host, Stephen, joined as always by the amazing, the incredible, the one and only, Smashley. Hello, Smashley, how are you?
I feel like we did drugs before the show.
I was sitting, so here's the problem. Here's what happened was. Sam went to bed early, so he went to bed at like 7:30. So I've had like an hour just to sit and get comfortable and like kind of be like, man, night time. Night time is good. And then I was like, wait, no, I've got a show to do. So I sat down and I played Quap as if that was going to energize me. Quap. You know where you control the dude's
The living shit is a Quap.
Google Quap, QWOP. And it's just the best game because I was sitting there like, this will make me happy because Quap makes you happy. It doesn't. Quap makes you furious.
Oh, that's the stupid run game that people were playing like 20 years ago.
Yeah, and so I was playing Quap, and then I was like, I wonder if anyone's ever beaten this. So I went to YouTube, and I YouTube searched. I Googled on YouTube, because, boy, this is going well. Quap, to see if anybody had ever beat it. So I was like, oh, let me watch a video on somebody beating Quap, and it was fascinating. And I was like, okay, that's the rhythm. And I went back and tried to play it again, and I failed to do what he did. And then I watched a Luigi's Mansion 3 speed run, and then Jacob called. So it's been a productive evening.
I don't understand how to, wouldn't it make sense that your thigh followed by your calf would go, and then your thigh followed by your other calf?
Yes.
Hi, Griffin!
Thank you, Griffin, for your 700 cheer. That's amazing. Holy crap. We appreciate it so much. Stephen just triggered my Google Home. Sorry, man. I forget that smart speakers can hear me say those words. I wonder if I didn't trigger mine. It's right there.
I was in the shower today, and I was listening. I play YouTube in the shower because I can't be alone without sound. And I did not time my shower correctly, so I got stuck with an ad. I'm like, no! And they started talking about, Alexa, order pizza.
Don't do that. What are you doing? You can't say that on the internet.
Did Alexa order pizza for anybody?
I don't think so. Did you want to know, they have commercials where they say her name, right, to do stuff.
Yeah. And it won't do anything.
It won't do it. It's because Alexa, those commercials take the frequency and drop it to a certain range where you still hear it, but it triggers Alexa to know. I said her name twice. It triggers her to know that that's not a real command and it can be safely ignored. My brain was what?
So my dad has my mom on that filter permanently then.
Your dad cracks me up the way he talks to it because he'll go, play that again, name of thing. And it's like, no, Doc, you have to say name of thing, play that again. Do that again. Do that again. No, say her name and then tell it what to do.
Say my name.
They've had it for a year, and it's the same thing. It's the same story every time I go over there.
Did you ever watch the Christmas video that I did?
I watched part of it. I didn't because it was 20 minutes. I have to carve out a special 20 minutes, but I did watch some of it.
Did you see the part where Jacob and Dad were talking, and then I zoomed in on Mom in the background, and she's got her ear turned sideways to Alexa, and then she's like, Alexa, Alexa, and I was like, what the hell are you doing? She's like, I think she had a stroke. I'm like, what are you trying to get her to do?
I love your mom and dad's personification of technology. Like your mom's in particular, because she'll name things like, her laptop. Oh, my laptop. Mary Sue's sick right now. And I'm like, wait, okay, hold on a minute. Like, what's it doing? It won't work. Well, what does that mean? My emails, and then you just go on from there. Your mom IT should be like a segment on the show at this point.
No. No, we did that last week, remember? And I about lost my mind.
Yeah, you'd had enough.
It's so frustrating. Yeah, we don't need to rehash that.
We won't
Let's
go
just
there.
get annoyed again.
Let's just skip over that. We can go straight to the factoid, as a matter of fact. I don't have anything else I know of to say. I've had a boring week.
Well, I mean, we had like tornado warnings, and then I fell asleep for 2 hours this afternoon because yay, pregnant.
Dude, that tornado warning was nuts. Or not warning, but like watch, I guess. Like,
I don't know. It was windy.
Are perfect. Yeah, I looked out my back window and trees were just like swoosh, 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 and then the rain was like in waves. Like we had all kinds of rain. We had a little bit of stinging rain, a little bit of big old fat rain that seemed to come up from underneath. All the different kinds of rain, like all at once.
Steven, I watched the Honest trailers. I found like that's something I could just keep going on the background where I don't really have to pay attention, but it's noise. So my brain's like, noise, yay, you don't have to pay attention to other. Hey, what is that thing? Is that a new cup?
It's Stephanie's Corksicle. All my Yeti cups, they're clean now, but I was already using this, so I'm still using it. It holds a large volume of water so as to not get migraines like I did earlier this week by staying hydrated. You should not drink a lunch beer if you haven't had any water today.
Lunch beer?
Yeah, I had a lunch beer.
What is that? That's the 12-ounce one? Because I have a pink version of that.
This is like 1,000,000 ounces. Like, hold
16 ounces?
No, this is more than 16. This is like a 20-some ounce. Right?
Because I've got the same size pink one. And I can't, like, I have to do this during the day because otherwise I have to fill up water too often. It's real obnoxious.
I don't want to carry around something as heavy as your giant water bottle that's made of steel.
I mean, I only walk from my desk to the bathroom for the most part, so
it's easy when you work at home.
It's just this stays. Yeah. But yeah, like so I've got this, and this goes with me when I travel, so I have it in the car. But then like if I have to go somewhere and appear pseudo professional, then I'll take the smaller pink one. And then when I get back out to the car, since the smaller pink one's empty, I have the Big Daddy waiting on me, and I'm always hydrated.
Big Daddy's always waiting on you.
That sounds awful.
It does. You said it. I just called it out.
Why would read about a lizard?
There are approximately over 5,000 lizard species, including iguanas, chameleons, geckos, Gila monsters, monitors, and skinks. Well, how about that? 5,000.
Did you see the tiny lizard that I had to kick out of the sunroom?
I didn't. No, I don't ever watch videos that you send me. It means that I'm usually somewhere where like I have to stop and it's loud and I'm like, or I'm in the bathroom at work and it's stalled and that's the last place you need your phone to be making noise.
But I sent pictures too.
Oh, okay.
Like I sent pictures with the video.
I glanced at your pictures.
But Steven then I was doesn't care about my lizard.
I was like, oh, look at that. It's probably a lizard she's taking a picture of. Okay. I don't care about lizards. It's not that I don't care about you. It's just I don't care about lizards.
Guys, I feel like
a picture you just going, kitty, and taking pictures and sending this for your mom and Stephanie. Well,
I mean, I sent it for you too.
Oh,
Jacob,
thank you.
Did you watch my lizard? Did anybody besides my mother watch my lizard?
Jacob, say yes. Say yes. Don't get in trouble. Don't do what I did. I'm foolish.
Adam saw my lizard. Damn. I'm just going to skip the group text and go directly to Discord from now on.
I'll probably watch it if it shows up there.
God, you guys suck so much.
I don't really read group text most of the time because it's generally conversations between you and your mom. And it's a group text, but your mom's the only one that ever texts back. So it's just you and your mom group texting. So I assume it's like, I'm keeping you in the loop, but you don't really need to hear.
That's it. The show is named Watch My Lizard. So angry.
Last word bird.
I'm just gonna. Yes, my mom has to get the last word in a text. She has to. Like Jacob was screwing with her one time when he figured out this pattern, and he just started sending her emojis, just random like goose butt emojis that had nothing to do with anything, and she would respond, and they did it for like 35 minutes, and finally I'm like, go to bed, Mom, you said you were going to bed. She's like, it's rude not to respond.
Can do. My dad always just sends me, like, if he sends me something and I don't say anything back, I'll get an hour later, I'll get a message that says, say K.
I know,
just say K. Like,
it's
K.
So funny.
That way I know you got it.
Did you watch my lizard, bitch?
I did that to him one day because he asked me to text him something, but I texted it to him. Nothing came back. So 3 hours later at like 8:15, I was like, say K. Sure enough, within 2 minutes, I got a K.
So Steven and Jacob and Steven's dad have a text thread that if you picked it up, you would think it was some sort of weird like shorthand spy lingo, because none of there's no like, it's like if you don't speak Russian and you picked up a book written in Cyrillic, you'd be like, where are the effing vowels?
Well, he tells a story in like several acts, but like just with commas. Like, for instance, here's a story about when he rode horses. We home, broke camper, beach cop call, we just go check day. That means that someone broke into their camper at the beach and the police called and they're going to check. But that's all you got. And then later, climb hill, high copper, leaped, caught horn arm, snapped. Rough for a while, but better day. Just cowboy stuff, LOL. That's, to translate, he went up a hill on his horse named Copper. Copper leaped. He got his arm stuck in the horn, and it pulled it and hurt it. And he was hurt, but he's a cowboy, so he's fine. That's the general.
Like Stephen and Jacob will respond in kind too. So it's like they all devolve into this kind of like Neanderthal language. It's amazing. Stephanie's like, I hate when Stephen gets off the phone with his dad because it takes him 10 minutes to start talking normally again.
It does. It takes time to work your way back out of the accent. And it's okay. It's fine. But so what I realized today, though, was that my dad's actually ahead of his time with his shorthand weirdo text messages, because we were talking teenager speak in the Discord with the letters in like the 17, like the vowels missing from the words and all that stuff.
Leet, yeah.
And it's basically the same thing. It's just
except I feel like it's more acceptable now, just different. You just use eggplants instead.
Yeah. Did I tell you about the homonym that we made up on the fly on accident?
No.
We were sitting at home when we were down at Christmas, and my dad goes, "How do you spell cancel?" And I was like, "Oh, Cancel." He said, "No, counsel. Like you go into a counselor." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, you just found another homonym on accident." Like, because he didn't mean to, but the way he pronounced, he's like, "Oh well, there's another one. Counsel and counsel." Two words sound the same but spelled different.
Coin laundry and coin on the cob.
Cone and cone. Go to the cone laundry or you eat cone on the cob. These are real, guys. Like, this isn't him trying. This is just him saying stuff and going, "Oh man, those two words are the same." Oh, it's great. Let's do some world news. World news.
Wait,
What did I do? Did I mess up?
I forgot that you'd done the lizard, but you did the lizard, and then I fussed about the lizard, and then I forgot that you did the lizard, but you did do the lizard. So we can move on because you did the lizard.
Cool story, bro. Let's go. I did the lizard. Well, that's, You ever seen The Shape of Water? Cardboard beds won't fold under Olympic pressure, says manufacturer. Oh, this is a problem in real life. Randy athletes, that's not his name. Randy is like a British word.
I know what my Horizon story is going to be on now.
Randy athletes.
Yes.
Randy. Can't get through it because it really sounds like a dude who's having worries. Like, just listen to the sentence.
Jacob, can we name our kid Randy?
Randy athletes. Randy athletes worried that eco-friendly cardboard beds could curtail their sex life at the Tokyo Olympics can breathe easy. They're sturdy enough, says manufacturers. While the snug singles at the Athletes' Village underline Tokyo's commitment to sustainability and delivering a green Olympics, fears they could fold under pressure look to be unfounded. Australian basketball player Andrew Bogut raised the alarm when he tweeted, "Great gesture," until the athletes finish their set events and the thousands of condoms handed out all over the village are put to use. This is a real thing that happens at the Olympics. Like, Salt Lake City ran out of condoms at the Olympics because the athletes, like, you're putting together, you're taking the most physically fit human beings on planet Earth and shoving them into a commune together for like 2 weeks and wondering, like, well, this one who's like the best runner in the world is going to get with this one who's the best swimmer in the world. I mean,
they all have very high testosterone and very high estrogen.
Maybe you should not give them condoms so they create a super race.
Oh, yeah, that's a really good... yeah, but they don't want to be pregnant.
I know, but then they would just have one, and it would be like this genetic master of physical fitness. It'd be like this creation.
That's a really good... That's incredibly...
It's really...
Germanic,
yeah,
I guess.
It's not... It's very creepy dystopian. But yeah, you put... I mean, people want a peekapoo. They put a I almost said a Pikachu and a Poopadese. That's not what it is.
What was the dog, the Shih Tzu and a poodle, and we're all like a shit poo?
Yeah.
The guy had we went over to the sorry, my ADHD brain just exploded. For Super Bowl, and there was this 2-month-old puppy, and it was just the cutest freaking thing, and it just like had a tongue, and it was all black, and I'm like, black like my soul. He had a name, I forget his name, but the guy, I was like, what is this? Because I don't understand dogs, and he's like, it's a Shih Tzu and a poodle, and I'm like,
I know what that is.
A Shih Tzu and a poop. Like, there's literally no way to put that together that isn't poop.
I'm dying over here because I have to call out Soapbox GSTU's comment. Didn't expect casual eugenics today, but here we are.
And that's always like, it would be, it's like fascinating to think of it genetically, but then you're like,
I'm not condoning it.
Brothers, I saw what happened.
Yeah, no, I'm not condoning this line of thought. I just think it's a fascinating exercise maybe to do mentally and then go, no, this is wrong, and go back to, playing Nintendo.
But is it so what's the swimmer dude, the dolphin
Michael
that does
Phelps.
pot? Michael Phelps. Like, he's the way his body is structured with the long torso and the shorter, like he swims well. I mean, he's a dolphin. He's made for swimming, right? So like that's genetically based, but then he trains really hard, right? Like he's all in so how much of it is the dedication and the focus and the training versus somebody's body is already cut out for it?
I think it's a bonus feature. Like, you can swim well. Like, the thing, this brings up a really interesting point. It's tangentially related to what you just said, but like, you've got Michael Phelps, who's physically built for swimming, and he also seems like an all right person who can speak to people. But then you have an idiot like Ryan Lochte who can swim, but he's just brain dead to no end. If he mates with somebody, then you've got a very physically capable idiot. And that's not what you want. So yeah, we should strike this plan because you don't know just having physical fitness. I mean, we could end up with a bunch of Morlocks, not Murlocs, Morlocks.
All the time machine
Yeah, the
things.
time machine dudes who are like all bulk and like you could end up with those.
You've got to have some sort of like my brain physically cannot comprehend the amount of focus and dedication over the extended time that like pro athletes have, right?
Oh yeah.
Like, 'cause they're constantly visualizing, they're constantly in training. I mean, their entire life is dedicated to this thing to get to where they need to be. And I'm just like, I would do that for a week, and then I'd see something, and then I'd forget.
Are you still doing vacuum abs?
Yes.
Well, that's good. See, you've got that going for you.
Well, I created a habit loop. So when I brush my teeth, I vacuum abs, or when I'm in the shower, I vacuum abs if I forgot to do it while I was brushing my teeth. If I brush my teeth in the shower.
I watched vacuum abs guy today, and I skipped like to the part where he tells you how to do it, and after all that safety stuff.
That's an old video from him.
Yeah, that safety stuff. Like I get it. Like you need to do things right, but my word, it's a 7-minute video to tell you how to inhale. It's like this is too much.
I really, 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 really like his channel because especially like the newer ones, like in the last, year or year and a half, because he explains things and then he explains common pitfalls that people have with the things. He's like, you may think you're doing it right, but you're not. Or, if you are doing it right, you can do this to get a bonus. And this is how you can. It's a lot of information. But a lot of times, if you'll notice, there's a timestamp in the comments going, video starts at.
Oh, yeah. That's what I like. I like, especially if you're looking at old concert videos where it's like this song, it starts at this point and this song is in this. You're like, you can just click to the song you want. Oh, those are the real heroes of YouTube.
Timestamps are the best stamps.
So Adam was asking what vacuum abs are, and we should probably tell the audio listeners who aren't in the Discord all day, twodorks.net/discord, that they're basically you're doing a standing ab crunch by...
Or you can lay down.
Yeah, or you can lay down, but by sucking in your gut and kind of like holding it and then breathing out slowly, right? That was the gist of it. Because you want to activate those core muscles. Not at all. Okay, Ashley's going to tell you what it is.
So you want to completely exhale? Like you don't want air in your lungs or you can't carve out the space. So a lot of women, the only ab exercises they can do are vacuum abs. And the reason it's called vacuum is because there's no like air left in your lungs. So you're whoosh, like vacuum packing it. And if you start laying down, I feel like you could do it better than if you stood standing up because you're not curving over on yourself, but you blow out all your air and then you suck. Like you just engage your pee muscles all the way up until your ribs kind of go, your belly button goes to your spine and your ribs go beep, and you hold it for 10 seconds. And then you inhale slowly and that'll feel that cavity back up. And it's a fantastic, like you will feel it. And there's a lot of pro athletes that do that like daily.
Does it give you the 6-pack that you've always dreamed of?
So there was a chick, her name was Stephanie Buttermore. She was like huge in the Arnold circuit and stuff. Until she realized that she was losing the ability to procreate because she was so thin and she started eating again.
Wait, what? Okay.
Well,
Griffin with 500 cheer. My word. That's amazing.
Yay! Oh, that's very sweet. Griffin. But anyway, so if you guys want to do this with us, just pick like, I mean, you can start with like 5 of them. That's 50 seconds of vacuum abs a day, and then just kind of incrementally move up for that. But I wanted to do it like for a month with everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, I started 2 days ago, but I can restart again because I mean, I'm pregnant for a while.
You can do. Yeah. There's no need to like. Well, I'll start on Monday.
No, just start now.
Start now. Whatever. No, that's cool. I'm expecting I'll look like Captain America in about 2 weeks. Yeah. Seems
You
like a good amount
will
of time.
because you like go think about doing push-ups and get muscles. So suck 'em up.
I think I'm over this rotator cuff issue that I had. So I think I could probably start exercising again and like lifting stuff like I mean to, instead of just.
Did you ever do any of those exercises where you held
do I
a
look like
weight?
somebody who listens to your advice? Is that something you think I do? Because I don't.
Steven! Steven. Okay.
Yeah.
So my dad had an appointment with a surgeon over his back. And Stephanie and I went. And I have been telling my dad, for how long have I been telling him, look, if you go to the gym a couple times a week,
yeah.
talk to a physical therapist, to just do gentle stretches, gentle range of motion. You don't have to go in there and like stomp somebody's face and like eat steroids, right? Just little so we go to the doctor, and I'm standing in the freaking room listening to the doctor talk to my dad, and he's like, doc, I would not want you to do the surgery. These are, you're older, this is the stuff that can happen. He's like, realistically, I would just recommend physical therapy. And I'm like, I actually
welcome to the Legion of Dorks.
Welcome to the Legion.
Is that Penisqualls?
It's the Penisqualls.
Is that? Oh wait,
the Penisqualls.
Zane Pearsall. How do you say your name?
We'll find out. How is that still making noise?
Because I will it to be so.
I guess so. I tried to turn it off. I don't know why it won't do it.
I like that it yells. But anyway, so I leaned into the doctor. I'm like, I'm sorry. I apologize to interrupt, but could you repeat that one more time, a little more slowly? My dad's hard of hearing. And he started laughing, and he looks at Dad, and he, repeats it. And so they end up. So I've been trying to get my dad to go back to this gym that's like 5 minutes from me. It's like 7 minutes from him. They've got the physical therapy there. They've got the pool, yada yada yada. They set my father up with the physical therapist that I wanted him to go see at the gym I wanted him to go to. And he was so tickled. He's like, I don't have to have surgery, and this is going to fix everything, and blah, 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 and this will be great. And I'm like, I'm going to punch you in the dick.
He needed a doctor to tell him. He couldn't have you tell him.
I just looked at him, and he looked at me up and down. He's like, Ashley, you're being a butt. I'm like, and then the very next day we went to the neurologist, and the neurologist was like, oh, you're having some, cognitive impairment. If you exercise and if you do daily, cognitive exercises like puzzles and you socialize, that'll completely go away and it'll help. And I'm like,
you've been trying to get him to do puzzles for like 2 years.
So he went home and opened one of the 70 puzzle books that I got him and started working on it.
So you need to get some credentials. No,
apparently.
If you were a medical doctor, your dad would still be like, no, Ashley, that's fine. I'm going to
Nobody
do
listens
this.
to me.
No, and I'm sorry. So I've been called out in the chat for pooping on you all night, and I didn't mean to. I don't feel like I've been pooping on you, but Jacob told me I need to eat chocolate. So whatever that means. I don't know. Does chocolate make you less ornery? I'm not ornery anyway.
Wait, so you guys have never seen Stephen Audrey.
No.
Stephen Audrey's hilarious.
It is not. I'm an angry but justified, righteous anger, fiery person.
So when Stephen gets like, I don't even know what the word is it, but he knows that he's being a little feisty, but he also has got to the point where he feels validated in being feisty. So it's like watching a sugar glider go batshit because the banana is on the other side of a screen, and he wants the freaking banana, and he knows that the banana is his, and nobody will give him the banana. So he may pee in a couple corners of the room and look at you and be like, I know what I did was wrong, but I want that freaking banana. And it's really funny. It's the only way I can like describe it.
I feel like if I was actually being a butt, you would have let me know.
Steven's rarely a butt to where I feel like Like, do you need to sit down?
I don't ever intend to. I think sometimes the filter just turns off. And I'm like, I'm going to say this thing. Oh, that's not what it was meant to sound like. Oh, boy. Better backpedal.
I was going to say,
Anyway,
if he hasn't backpedaled, then he's fine.
back to the sexy athletes. Australian basketball player Andrew Bogut raised the alarm when he said the thing I read 5 minutes ago. But the beds can withstand a weight of 200 kilos, that's 440 pounds, and have been through rigorous stress tests. We've conducted experiments like dropping weights on top of the beds, said a spokesperson. As long as they stick to just 2 people in the bed, they should be strong enough to support the load. If you need more than 2, shove the beds together to make like a king size. And then you have lots of room for your
Does it say
weird
that?
super athlete orgy. No, these are just suggestions by me. At the 2018 Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang, where usage of dating app Tinder soared almost 350%, organizers doled out 110,000 condoms to participants. London organizers supplied 150,000 condoms to 2012 Olympic athletes at what was dubbed the raunchiest games in history. Until Rio. 4 years later, where athletes received 450,000 or 42 condoms each. Tokyo officials have yet to decide how many condoms they will supply this year, but are leaning towards the London range. At a briefing Thursday, Takashi Kitamajima, general manager of the Tokyo 2020 Athletes Village, said of the beds, "We prefer not to destroy things we build, but continue to use them. This is a major element for providing sustainability." Could you imagine? You're in the Olympic board, and your job is the chief sex wrangler. And that's what you do all day. You figure out what beds can make sure these athletes get the satisfaction they need without breaking them. And then be like, I also need to source 150,000 condoms. Who's going to give me the best deal? And you can't advertise them. Like, the condom companies don't get advertised at the Olympics. So it's like you just need to find them and probably pay like maybe a bulk Costco price. Maybe not. Maybe there's I don't know. But your job is sex chief. And this is what you do.
Sex chief.
Yes.
Or there's a new shirt for Scottier to make.
You are the CSO, the chief sex
Group!
officer.
I'm only interested in wrangling my own sex.
But these people have to wrangle everybody else's. And then they have to figure out who's going to be most beneficial to live next to this person or that person. Like, am I going to put Michael Phelps next to a swimmer, or do I put Michael Phelps next to a runner so we get an amphibian? What am I going to do?
I wonder, like, if there are scares, like, afterwards. Scares, as in, I did not intend for that semen to crawl up my vagina and fertilize an egg, but I think it may have.
I bet that you could look that up. I doubt, with 150,000 condoms, I mean, what's the general percentage rate of failure on a condom anyway?
I would also assume that a lot of the women, unless like the hormones, can women take birth control and be like, is that considered dosing? Since
maybe,
technically they're taking like
'cause the
progesterone and estrogen.
It's a hormone change. So while a perfect condom use has a 98% success rate at preventing pregnancy, errors can increase the risk of breakage. Breakage in various studies, between 0.8% and 40.7% of participants reported the experience of a broken condom. Various studies. I don't even know if this is real.
I've never had a broken condom, but I hate condoms, so.
I mean, no one exactly loves them, but they exist for a reason.
So.
Slippage. There's a stat for you. Slippage and leakage.
Olympic oops babies.
This is all the different. Here's the top condom errors, everybody. Let's just go down this list together so we all know not to make mistakes. Late application. That's an error. If you do the deed and then put it on, you've made a mistake.
Prematurely.
Yeah, you've made a mistake. Early removal. So not getting.
It doesn't feel as good as I was told.
Not getting finished there and taking it off too soon. That's a problem. Unrolling it before putting it on. Also an important tip.
I would make application real hard.
I know. Like, they should make latex gloves like for doctors in like the condom looking tubes. So you like put your hand in and then you roll it down your hand. It'd be so much easier to put on a latex glove. It's like bloop.
That's such a good idea.
It's brilliant. Yeah, just bleep, 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 bleep. It would remove that whole like anal doctor glove snap though. That'd be sad. Failing no space at the tip. That's a thing that's an error. Failing to remove air. You don't want a balloon in there. Inside out. What? I guess that happens if you were to unroll it first. You could turn it inside out.
Like a contact.
Yeah, this is pretty fun to learn, actually. This is failing to unroll all the way. That's another thing. Exposure to sharp objects. If you're just hanging around with your condom and a knife, you've got it on the table while you're cutting a steak, you want to be careful. Or
if you're like Steven and you play with power tools all day and then cut your hand on a bread knife.
Not checking for damage. You really want to.
How do you check for damage? Like you blow it up and make sure it stays balloon shaped.
Well, then you've unrolled it, which is also an error. So you can't do that. No lube. Let's just skip through the rest of these. No lubrication, wrong lubrication, incorrect withdrawal, condom reuse. Blah, blah. I just threw up a little. Incorrect storage. Why reuse? No.
I don't know. Maybe they like rinsed it out and tried it again.
Didn't we have a story like 10 years ago where they made reusable ones that you could actually do that?
Well, condoms originally were like lambskin and you just got one and that's what you used. Like prophylactics were like you just got one little glove for your wiener. It wasn't a disposable thing. You kept it in a nice little bag and you hid it because you were Protestant and shameful of wasting your splooge.
We've lost 6 listeners in the last 5 minutes. Is this a bad move? Do you people not care? I'm trying to save your lives here. Gosh. Small town news.
Oh, this is not any better.
Oh no.
Man wearing "I have the coronavirus" sign sprays Lysol on merchandise at Walmart, causing $10,000 worth of damage.
What?
I mean, that would be at least half the store.
Oh, that's terrible.
Okay, did you know that Lysol was originally created as a vaginal spray?
I had no idea. I'm sorry. I was sitting here and a cockroach just like peeked over the top of my monitor and was like, "I'm coming to see you." And I went, "Holy crap." And it went away. So I'm just going to pretend I don't know where it is and do the rest of the show.
I killed one right before the show. I was getting dressed in the bathroom because I had taken my hoodie off to put my makeup on because I don't know why. And then when I put it back on, I'm like, where were you? Like, were you in my hoodie? Because he was just laying on his back in the floor. And then I was like, gonna squish it, and it like flipped back over and started to run. So I sprayed it with bleach, and then I squished it, and then I threw it away.
I wish I had some like bleach spray. I don't have anything to squish one with. We cleaned up the room so they don't have any more things around.
That's why he's upset. He's like, "Where's my hiding space? Whole bag?"
I think they're attracted to the heat from my lamp that I have up here in my face.
It's also wet outside, so they're all going to come inside.
Oh, son of a gun. You're right.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh,
the next couple days will be Roachapalooza.
Awesome. Well, if you guys hear me freak out again, it's because there's a roach somewhere in my desk vicinity.
You can use some vaginal spray to kill your roach.
Oh, yeah. Let's do that. Vaginal spray. I'm ready.
I can't, so we have one thing of Lysol in the house. I don't like Lysol. I don't like the way it smells. I don't like what it's made out of. Lysol's not my friend. But every once in a while, if the trash can leaks, I'll wash it out with soap and water, and then I'll spray Lysol in it because, I don't know, it's there. And I'm just like, I cannot fathom spraying this on my vagine.
No.
It would burn, and it would be awful. And that's what it was sold as, because women need to freshen up their vagines with Lysol.
I don't think that that's a thing that they should do.
I feel like that would be akin to spraying Lysol up your nose because it's like,
Oh gosh.
right? Like
That-
the burning.
Yeah, that I can relate to. I couldn't relate to the vagina thing because I don't have one. But when you said
Yes.
nose, I do have a nose, and I could
Yes.
totally see that. Did I ever tell
Yes,
you about
like,
the time
they vaginas are self-cleaning.
they do? They're self-cleaning ovens. Stephanie told me that she heard a anatomy professor told her that. I was like, "Huh, well, good to know. You know, in case I ever have one." But there's this bottle of ammonia your dad bought us for some reason because he likes to just buy big jugs
Yeah.
of chemicals. And he
Yeah.
put it in my laundry room, and I was like, "What is this?" And I opened it, and I put my nose directly in it, and I thought I was gonna die. Like
Oh,
I've
I
never
bet you
had.
killed so many brain cells.
Oh, it hurt. Everything about it was just the worst. I was like, "Holy crap! What just happened to me?" I went blind. It was awful. I didn't really
Yep.
go blind, but it was something I learned not to do again. In
Don't
the worst
huff
way.
ammonia and don't spray your mucous membranes with harsh chemicals.
That roach is like right between both of my monitors.
How are you
creeping.
getting? Okay, wait. Can you turn the camera on it? Can we?
No,
can we
I
get,
can't.
like,
My monitor's way too. Like I'm just wait. He's gonna drop down and he's gonna do that skitter thing that freaks you out, and I'm gonna fall backwards in my chair.
I'm so excited. Like I need videos of you from the
Oh.
other angles, so when you do a backflip, we have it on camera.
He just moved. He's really active back there. I just
I'm
don't
excited.
want
I don't have socks on, and I just feel like there's stuff gonna crawl on my feet.
I know.
Okay,
I'm like lifting my feet off the ground. I know he's right there. Anyway, this is great. This is great radio. We can keep telling the story. I'll just try to ignore the fact that he's somewhere back there.
So get ready to clip stuff, people. Police are seeking to identify a young man who was caught on a cell phone camera wearing a yellow medical mask and a sign that said, "I have the coronavirus," as he sprayed disinfectant on items at a Walmart, causing nearly $10,000 in damage. Who made the crack about the... Yeah, Hammer, I agree with you. Is there $10,000 worth of stuff in? He was telling everyone the same thing, that he was protecting them from the virus. Jolie police said 2 men in their 20s walked into the store in the blah 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 blah. That literally shut my brain down because there were numbers in a row.
There are a lot of them.
And one of them put on a yellow surgical mask. Okay, this, they were like filming it, and this is like on
This is
YouTube
gonna be
somewhere.
on YouTube somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah. The man was also wearing a handmade sign on his back that read, "Caution, I have the coronavirus." It'd have been really funny if somebody like walked up to him, tased him, and like wrapped him in bubble wrap for the protection and then taken him to the CDC.
Oh, that would have been justified.
Justified. Police said he then began spraying a substance later determined to be Lysol on produce, clothing, and health and beauty items. I feel like someone's crawling on me now.
I know, it's awful.
The prank was meant to scare people about the novel coronavirus that has killed hundreds in China and infected thousands before spreading to other countries, including the US. Prokes was shopping at the Walmart when he saw the suspect walking around spraying Lysol. He kept telling people he was trying to disinfect the area. If this repeats itself one more time, I'm going to stab the person who's getting paid 8 cents a word.
They needed the word count, man.
Yes. The store had to be professionally cleaned and dozens of items were thrown out. So I understand chucking the produce because you can't eat Lysol. But I mean, if you have Lysol on a shirt, just wash the shirt.
Yeah, I mean, that's not the end of the world. But they can't guarantee that whoever buys the shirt is going to wash the shirt. They get home, they put the shirt on, they have an allergic reaction, they call Walmart. I mean, this is really their only option.
Yeah, I guess.
Was to blow it all away. But this guy's a butthole.
Yeah,
and it's not exactly a prank. Because pranks...
that was monetary damage that 20-year-old can't pay for.
Yeah, this is not one of those things you go and you're just like, oh, it was just a joke and nobody's hurt and everyone laughs and goes, oh, okay, whatever. This is different. This is bad news.
One of our buddies told us that he read a conspiracy theory that a lab out of Wu-Tang.
Wuhan.
Wuhan
Yeah, Wuhan.
created the virus on purpose to distract the news from the goings on with Hong Kong. And so like we're just like, oh, that sounds ridiculous. But then if you actually look into it, it eerily sounds plausible.
Yeah.
Because some of the scientists working at this lab had been in trouble before with some nefarious, shady stuff. And then like people are saying that there's posts of a leaked photo that there's actually more deaths going on than have
I've
been
heard that.
reported in China. But it's such a fun rabbit hole to fall down.
As long as you go down it knowing like this is most likely crazy conspiracy theorist nutball stuff. Like it's kind of scary if you really dig into each conspiracy and you're like that's plausible. That's plausible. That too is plausible. All these things could have definitely happened.
Sure, yeah.
And then you're like you end up being tinfoil hat who doesn't trust anybody. You know, and I'd prefer to live in a universe where I can just be like, meh, probably just a bat, you know, that had it, and then we got it in the end.
Right, yeah, but it's just, I mean, like I guess the first person the doctor reported, Hammer said just died. Seifo's like, I can totally believe the underreporting, right? Because then you
Oh,
think
yeah.
about Chernobyl, right? You're just like, oh, that has happened.
Yeah,
that does
yeah.
happen. So it's like one of those things where you're just like, if that turns out to be true, that's so bad.
Oh yeah, but China would definitely try to protect their global appearance by underreporting the deaths. That makes absolute sense to me. I mean, but would we do it any differently? I mean,
I was gonna say, I feel like most countries trying to protect their. It depends on who's in a high office, and
yeah,
right now we would.
But we also have an independent free press, to the best of our knowledge, that like is real good at hunting down and picking stuff off and being like, that's BS, this isn't BS. Like a lot of these countries that do that don't have what we would consider to be a free media. There's like so much state-run stuff that you don't even know who's telling what to who.
Yes, it's the comparison between Russia and
yes,
yeah.
Yeah, so I'd like to believe we would be able to get to the bottom of it. If it was us, we'd be like, no, this is not how it works. But who knows? I mean, the Men in Black were able to keep the aliens under wraps. You know, definitely no aliens.
Did you ever watch the new one?
I didn't. I've heard lots of horrible things about it, but
it was apparently balls. I watched the cinema sins on it because I couldn't be bothered to watch it, and I'm like, meh. He did not take one sin away, therefore I'm not watching it.
You make no sense to me. None. Absolutely none. You avoid trailers for movies like The Plague, but as soon as they come out, you're all over any critique, review, anything about the movie at all. So it's like you could get what the company wants you to see to get you kind of excited about the movie. You don't watch that. You watch the thing where we do know what happens in the movie, and then you just read synopsises and stuff and go, okay, well, I want to see it now. This is the most backwards thing I've ever heard from someone who's like, I hate spoilers.
So I only have a limited amount of juice in my brain, and then once that juice has been dried out, then I don't give any craps whatsoever. Yeah, I was telling TV's Travis, I'm like, I watch CinemaSins and then I'll listen to your podcast if I haven't seen a movie, and then I'm like, maybe I'll watch that. Or I'm glad I didn't watch that and I just had someone else tell me how they felt about it.
I don't understand. I do agree though that trailers, by the time the third one comes, it's usually too much. Like that first teaser is probably okay. Second trailer where you get the full like 2-minute 30-second splash of movie, if it's done right, is fine. Like the Marvel's traditionally done a pretty good job of making non-spoilery trailers.
Sure.
But then every now and then though, there's that Terminator one that just spoiled everything at the end, and you were like, "What the crap?"
a lot of the times too, they'll put stuff in the trailer that isn't even in the movie, and I'm like, why? Like, why
Yeah.
am I watching this? Like, what's the Tenet? I have no idea what that's about. None. Like
And you
zero
won't.
idea what that's about. But I will go watch it because it's by someone I like.
Yeah.
Traditionally, have liked his stuff. And like the 3-second little blurb of nothing, I'm like, whatever, I'll go see that. I'm not gonna go see like a new Ghostbusters.
I'm going to see that, but that's because that's my jam.
Okay, I meant the all-female one. Let's be real.
Oh no, I didn't want to see that, but it wasn't because it was all female. It just didn't look like my jam. And
I did not want to see it because it was forcibly all-female for not a fun reason.
it felt like they were trying to force a Ghostbusters movie out, and they weren't ready. And this one feels more like it's Jason Reitman, who's Ivan Reitman's son, who did the originals, and then it's like a continuation of the original guys coming in, and there's kids, and that's cool. A little bit more well-rounded, a little bit more fleshed out. It just feels like a better homage than just a Saturday Night
There's
Live cast and crew
in it,
cash grab.
yes.
Yeah.
And that doesn't necessarily always work out either, because what was it?
No.
The Predator?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Shane Black wrote that one too, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think he was involved in it. No, he directed it for sure. And he was involved in the original.
Yeah, he wrote the original and he acted in the original. I'm like, okay, this will be cool, because the first one was just, it was just a really good. I wish they wouldn't have had the like 3-second blurb at the beginning showing a spaceship, like an alien spaceship, because the whole time you could have been like, what the hell is in the jungle killing these people? Like, is it an animal?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But that they kind of took that away. I feel like that was a misstep. But then this one was just the biggest balls suckapalooza I've ever seen.
Well, maybe I'll watch it someday. But I've got your synopsis, and I don't need to bother.
It will bother you so much, because there's like a rodeo finger hooking guy in it.
Oh, okay. TV Travis just brought up AVP. I remember when you took us, as in you dragged us all along to go see AVP 2. And it was so dark. The whole movie was so dark, you couldn't even tell what was going on at all. Like, it was just, we don't have the money for puppets or CG. So we're just going to shoot the film in the dark. Good luck.
Kind of like the last season of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, we're just going to completely hide all the stuff from everyone. It was just really bad. See you, Zane Pearsall. All right, let's do a special section. Broken Heart, here are some things you can get your ex this Valentine's Day. Oh, no. For $20, Oregon Rehab Center will put your ex's name on a salmon and feed it to a bear. Yes, I approve of this. Let our 700-pound brown bears tear into your ex. Did you fall hook, line, and sinker for someone who broke your heart? Cody and Yak would love to help you get your revenge.
Oh, that's clever.
That's amazing. Burger King will let you trade a photo of your ex for a free Whopper this Valentine's Day. This Valentine's Day, select Burger King locations in New York City, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Boston will have Birds of Prey-themed breakup boxes. If you bring a printed photo of your ex and stuff it inside one of those boxes, you'll receive a free Whopper.
What do they do with the photos?
Ooh, yeah, that feels wrong in some way.
Yeah, that's kind of skeezy.
What if someone brings a lewdy nude photo and sticks it in there? That's inappropriate for sure.
Maybe you should not have lewdy nude photos of your ex any longer.
Some people are weird. I can't defend them. I don't know. It just seems strange to ask for a weird photo of somebody. Or it could be a criminalizing photo of like something even worse. Who knows? And then you get a free Whopper for all this stuff. San Antonio Zoo will name a cockroach after your ex, like the one in front of me right now, and feed it to the animals on Valentine's Day. You'll be able to name a cockroach after your ex, and we'll serve it up as a snack to one of your animals for only $5. If your ex was a snake, you can even name a rat after them, and we'll feed it to a reptile for $25. The certificate you receive can be shared on your own. All right, you get a certificate. Oh, on your own social media pages. Line break. On Valentine's Day, February 14th, we will be live streaming our Cry Mia cockroach feeding frenzy. I don't. So I've only ever had one relationship out of the one I'm married to, and I don't think I have a level of hate that would involve me buying a salmon. Like, is there anybody that? No, don't answer this, but other people can. Is there anybody you'd be so bitter about that you would like actually spend money to put their name on a salmon? Okay, Nicole says yes. I don't.
I feel like it would have to be like I don't give a shit about anybody that like I just don't like they may have sucked a butthole, but like if I'm not currently talking to them, then they do not cross my mind.
Like I don't even think about like ex relationships. I think about buttholes in high school. I'd be happy to put their name on a salmon and watch it get eaten.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, like bullies doesn't have to be an ex like person for Valentine's. You just be like, this guy was a giant human turd to me for years, and I would love to watch his name get eaten by a salmon.
I wish I would have known that the person you were talking about was a butt, because we hung out a lot, and I would have punched him in the wiener for you.
Well, you live, you learn. I've let it go. I don't care anymore.
I mean, there's an entire school I would maybe like. No, I would just set the school on fire.
I wrote a comic once about the school setting on fire while I was at school, and it was really funny to me because it was like, oh, what if the school caught fire? And I drew all these characters from the school, like these kids that I knew, and I'm like, this kid would probably do this goofy thing, and this is what would happen, and I thought it was hilarious. And then somebody got it from me, and it started going around the classroom, and people were laughing a lot, and I'm like, oh no. And then a substitute teacher who didn't know me for nothing gets a hold of it and is like, who drew this? I drew this. What did you draw this for? I don't know. It was just a stupid idea that came in. And nowadays, I'd probably be arrested for attempted arson because I drew a picture of the school burning down.
Like you would be cuffed, man. You'd be in the jail.
Yeah, but I don't know how I ended up getting my comic back. But I think it's because everybody knew how stupid it was and how good-natured I generally was.
Yeah, that is true. I feel like you've got to balance that.
Yeah, and I'm like, it was just, I thought it would be funny. It was. They just didn't know.
So I'm still thinking about going in and talking to somebody to see if like I actually have some like ADHDs.
You do.
But
you don't need to talk to anybody. We know.
when I was in school, I would doodle like because I couldn't. Like, I mean, you guys know this. If I'm looking at you, I'm not paying attention. Where were we the other day? And somebody was talking to me, and I'm like, oh my God, I just told everybody that I can't do this. I need to pay attention to what this person is saying. Look at their eyelashes. Look at their nose. They don't have any pores. And like, I have no idea what they were saying. And it was so important. What was that?
I don't know. I can't help you. Was I there? Probably
I don't
not.
know. I can't. I don't. My memory retention is poor. But anyway, like I would sit in class, and so I would doodle just because that kept my brain spinning, so I could actively pull in information. And so if I'd get really bored, or if I'd get yelled at for doodling, because at first a lot of the teachers thought I wasn't paying attention, I'm like, look, bitch, I don't care how long your skirt is. If I'm doodling, I'm paying attention to your bullshitty bullshit about how there's devils and drum beats. Let me draw my paper.
That's not that unusual. I had a boss who used to, anytime we were on a conference call, she would sit and just draw circles and stuff all over a piece of paper. And I'm like, I have no idea how you're paying attention right now. Like, if I was doing what you're doing, I'd be like, I'm sorry, could you say again? I turned my drawing into like a penguin, and now I was so focused on the penguin that I don't know what you were saying. And because you actually like you and Jacob actually draw things, but me, I just do swear. Like I'll either do a whole page of numbers, like 1 + 1 is 2, 2 + 2 is 4, yada yada yada, or I will do like just squiggles everywhere. Especially if it's kind of not
entertaining what I'm having to listen to, but I still want to retain the information because I need to, I'll squiggles.
You need it to be entertaining. I'm the opposite of you. I have to be. If I'm not looking at you, I'm probably not listening to what you're saying. Like, and I do that. Like, I feel that way about when I'm talking to someone. If they're not looking at me, I feel like they're not listening. Like, Stephanie I'll tell her something, and she'll might walk into the other room, and I'm like, well, I guess I'll just not. She's like, no, I'm listening to you. I was like, I don't believe it. I have to follow you and tell you it to your face.
I struggle with that too, because Jacob will be talking and my brain will go, oh, you forgot to do this. You should go do it. And if you don't do it now, you'll forget about it because you know how you are. You should go do it. Go do the thing. Go do the thing. Go do the thing. So I'll be like, I'm listening. I'm just going to walk in here and do this thing. And I can tell he's just like,
it's like we don't get the feedback anymore. So we feel like we've just lost the person. Like, I've got nothing. You were not interested. You have found something else to do.
no, I if I stayed and listened to my brain buzzing in the background, I would be less interested as if I walked away, did whatever bullshit background task I was thinking about doing and was still listening.
I will take advantage of captive audiences, like doing this. Like, I can say things at you, and you've got a captive audience in me. We can both talk at each other, and then, like, if I'm in the car and Steffi's in the car with me, I will talk to Blue in the face because she can't get away. I'm like,
I know,
and then this happened in the movie, and why did that happen? Let me discuss it. You know,
and Steffi's like, you and Steven get in a car and you both just start talking and you're so loud and I can't get away from you and it's awful. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I've lots
Sorry
of
about
things
your
to
luck.
talk about. Yes. Sorry you have to hang out with such awesome people all day.
I know. I'm like, maybe you should talk to me more. That wouldn't help. I'd still have a lot to say.
Newsman left untold. Artist creates traffic jams in Google Maps with a wagon full of phones. Dude, I read this. This is so amazing to me. We tend to think of Google Maps as an indispensable tool that is rarely wrong, but an artist from Germany named Simon Weckert found a humorous way to game the app. Using a wagon loaded with 99 second-hand smartphones, he was able to hack maps to create virtual traffic jams throughout Berlin. If you use maps, you're probably familiar with how it color codes roads green, orange, or red to show the state of traffic in the area. Weckert used his wagon full of phones using maps to take advantage of the fact and trick the app into thinking usually empty roads were suddenly choked full of cars. At one point in the project, he even took the wagon outside Google's office in Berlin. In some instances, the hack caused maps to reroute drivers away from the area where Weckert was with his army of phones. Weckert's description of the project says he wanted to draw attention to just how dependent we've become on services like maps. This is true. I can barely get around the town I live in without first dropping in where I'm going. I've been to that brewery 1,000 times where me and Jacob went to trivia last night. Still needed to put the phone the phone in my like side door so I could at least hear the cues. Like, oh, this is how you get there. Because I forget. I just, you go there once a month.
Well, you don't. If you're not actively having to utilize that part of your brain, why would it create a pathway? Your brain's effective.
Right. It's the way we have phones and the information is accessible to us at all times. We're learning to think differently. How can I find the information versus what is the information? It's just like we just know we can get to it if we need to. Anyway, citing apps like Airbnb, Uber, and Foodora, he wrote, all of these apps function via interfaces with Google Maps and create new forms of digital capitalism and commodification. Without these maps, car-sharing systems, new taxi apps, bike rental systems, and online transport agency services such as Uber would be unthinkable. To its credit, Google took the hack in stride and told 9 to 5 Google it would use the art project to make the app better. Whether via car or cart or camel, we love seeing creative uses of Google Maps that helps us to make maps work better over time. They also noted that the company doesn't exclusively use phones operating maps as proof of traffic jams. Instead, it relies on multiple sources. So don't expect many copycats. So there's a radio frequency that tells traffic conditions that they can feed off of. There's, your local whatevers that it can feed off of. There's the people using Google Maps tell the cloud where they are. If they stop moving in traffic, then it assumes, like, if enough of them stop moving, it kind of tells you, okay, that road is, backed up, which is what this dude was using Like enough phones talking to Google Maps, it says, okay, something's going on in this area. And also, Google Maps updated today. It's their 15th anniversary, and they've updated their app. So just in case you're curious about that. And it's supposed to have new, more discovery features to help you discover new places.
I try to like go somewhere once or twice with the map and then not anymore. And so when I was at the doctor with mom and dad's the other day, on the way back home, I'm like, I think I can take this road, and it just goes like back road all the way back. And so I was driving and I'm like, I think I took it the wrong way though. So we're at the state fairground and like North Carolina State University campus, and I need to go the other way.
I'm going the wrong direction.
So we drove around for a bit. Mom's like, well, just turn the thing. I'm like, I can fix this.
Watch what I can do. I have challenged myself to do that before and been like, and it's anxiety inducing because I'm like, I know how to get home. I need a landmark. I need something I've seen before to make sure I'm going the right way. You know?
I always feel like I'm offended if I can't figure it out, so I'll just keep going. And it was driving mom insane, but I'm just like, I know where I am. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know where I am, but I know where I am. Like, I'll figure out eventually.
My buddy and philosopher David Hudson once told me, if you have a full tank of gas, you can't get lost. And I was like, that's pretty good. I like that. Or it was if you're never lost with a full tank of gas or something like that. Because you can always keep driving. You'll eventually find something that makes sense to you.
I remember there are stretches where there are no gas.
Oh, sure. Like go out to Nevada or Arizona or whatever, and it's like last gas station for 300 miles. Good luck. But there was when we moved to Florida from West Virginia. I remember my mom just kept talking about. She's like, everything here is a square. Everything's a square. If I need to get back to where I was, I could take 3 left turns, and I'm right back where I need to be. And because we came from Beckley in West Virginia, where nothing's a square. If you take a left turn, you might be going for miles before there's another way to turn. And if you turn that way,
pre-planned city. Say that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's also on a bunch of mountains. Pre-planned city. I can do it because I can say Irish wristwatch all the time.
I'm like so annoyed that you said that first chance.
It's like I speak on the internet for a hobby. But you had the mountains and you had the turns and the curves, and you couldn't build squares. You could in Tallahassee. Lots of squares everywhere.
You have the mountains and you got the curves and the spurs and you
got
can't build squares.
Well,
Those were beautiful.
The Jello pudding pop.
Yay.
Can't joke about that anymore, can you? Nope. WTF section. WTF.
Alcohol flows through water taps in India, leaves families stunned. That's cool.
I mean, yeah, it's like having a draft tap right there in your house.
That's Jacob. I don't even like beer, but that would be fun.
Just make sure you put it on the back porch so I can come over and just pull up and fill it up and drive off. Put a tap out the back of the house.
The porching setup, like you could have your grill and your green egg, and then you're just on draft like sink.
Yeah, I like this. It's a good plan.
Beautiful. In a bizarre incident in Kerala, taps in a residential building in Thrissur. I hate you, Jacob. I can't speak these words. Started to pour foul-smelling mixture of alcohol and water. Oh, that's not fun. 18 families were shocked when they noticed drinking water from the taps tasted like alcohol. The incident that took place in Solomon's Avenue flat in Chillicothe, Fisher, was traced back to excise department's callous destruction of seized illegal alcohol bottles. Oh. So they just dumped it into the water source?
I guess.
Ooh. According to the report, excise department officials seized around 6,000 liters of alcohol from a shop in the vicinity of the residential building. The court then ordered destruction of the illegal alcohol bottles, following which the excise officials disposed of the liquor by digging a pit on the bar premises and just pouring one out.
Oh gosh. This is how
In
you
the
get rid of gasoline. You just pour it out on the ground there. No
And then you
problem.
light it on fire and it dries everything out.
It makes the bees go away. That's for sure.
In the bizarre turn of events, the alcohol slowly seeped into the soil and mixed with the apartment's open well located next to the dug up pit. The alcohol mixed water was pumped to tanks of the residential building, leading to the shocking outcome. I guess like beer water, like skunked beer water would be pretty gross.
Oh, that'd be pretty bad. Why didn't they just like ship the liquor to America? We'll take it.
Is it illegal to like have alcohol there?
I don't know. I'm not 100% sure on Indian alcohol rules. I feel like you could have alcohol there. Like, I don't think that's against the law or anything. It's not like, Middle Eastern countries where you just can't unless
Yeah, I
you're
don't
rich and
know.
powerful. Yeah, I have no idea. But they could definitely have shipped it. I think that would have been a safe bet.
They just dumped it like beer. I don't know. Hot beer pit. Gross. Well, I
India's
mean,
kind
isn't
of
that what people used to do? Like, because drinking water wasn't safe, so they would just mix it with.
beer save the world, man.
Like, that's the only reason people could get water was because the alcohol killed some of the bad crap in it.
Yeah. So in India, consumption of alcohol is prohibited in the states of Bihar, Gujarat, and Nagaland, as well as Nagaland. That's where the Naga live.
I was like,
As well as the Union Territory of Lakshadweep. There's a partial ban on alcohol in some districts of Manipur. That's Nicole just posted that.
nice, thank you.
So now we know. But I had an Indian guy I knew at work, and he was talking about they got off a bunch of holidays, and somebody asked like, why do you get so many holidays in India? He goes, because we have freedom of religion in India. So if you're Jewish, you get this holiday. If you're Christian, you get this holiday, and if you're Muslim, you get this holiday. And I liked how he said we have freedom of religion in India. like you all think you have it, but it's only really if you're Christian because you get your holidays.
We
Otherwise,
have freedom of white people religion.
I was like, I see what you did there, sir, and you're not wrong. Like at work, we get Good Friday, but we don't call it Good Friday. We call it Spring Holiday. But it's always Good Friday. So it's like, okay, but what about the people that like are celebrating, some other holiday that I'm unfamiliar with because I only pay attention to what I do because I'm an American.
Same.
And you could probably, Zafo heard the same thing. It shamed me. You're right. But
Hammer said, in wine there is wisdom, in beer there is strength, and in water there is bacteria.
That's truth. I
It
had
was
a buddy of mine just told me one time, he said, we were talking about how they drank a lot of beer, the Vikings drank mead and all that stuff, and he was like, well, they drank beer because they pooped in the water. And I was like, okay.
They would get some diarrhea if they didn't put that. Yeah, like there was no what is it called? Water filtration plant.
Yeah.
You just you peed, you fished, and you died in the same water supply.
Mm-hmm. That's what that Bill Gates thing was all about, trying to find a way to help with the where do you poop. It wasn't about getting drinking water. It was about cleaning up the water you already had.
Yeah.
Stop pooping in your reservoir and then scooping it up downstream and using it in your food.
That was so rough. Oh, it was so rough.
But
I mean, if that's literally all you know, and that's then how would you know any differently, right?
You don't. You just do what your parents did, and you keep on moving forward. You're like, I don't know why so many people get sick around here.
It's just an accepted thing.
It's just accepted, yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been an exciting show. We have ended on such a wonderful high note about
water.
Diarrhea in your water. But hey, that's what happens sometimes around here on the good ship, Horseshoes and Hand Grenades. We're coming up on our episode 500, by the way. I've been told that there are plans, but I'm not allowed to know them. That's all I know about what's going to happen.
Yeah, he's been secret squirreling some stuff.
Episode 500, Producer Jacob, who we should thank for the stories. Thank you, Producer Jacob, for all the hard work you do gathering up this news. You are the unsung hero of the show. And if you want to hear more from him... Yeah, sure. Why not? If you want to hear more from Jacob, you can always join us on the Patreon at patreon.com/2dorks, where we post the pre-show so you can hear us jibber jabber about whatever it is we got going on. But for now, send us some mail. You got some thoughts on anything we said? HNHshow@gmail.com will get us those notes so we can read them on the air. If you want to give us a review on your favorite podcasting service, go for it. Those are really appreciated. Follow us on Twitter, 2dorks TV, Steve HNH, and Fate Kills, PHATE Kills. If you want to leave us a tip, just throw us some cash money. 2dorks.net/tip will let you do that. Or you can throw your cheers or your Prime subs or whatever you got out there at us during the Twitch stream, and that would be very appreciated. And we're going to leave you guys with these words of wisdom from Friedrich Nietzsche. Nietzsche? Is it, which one? I've heard it both ways. Why are you licking your hoodie?
I
Okay.
bit the microphone and I got stuff in my mouth.
Oh, that's gross. It's probably like dried skin flakes and stuff.
No, it's all black foamy stuff.
Bleh. So anyway, Friedrich Nietzsche said this: precisely the least, the softest, lightest, a lizard's rustling, a breath, a flash, a moment, a little makes the way of the best happiness. Not really sure what that means.
Did
But
it say lizard in there?
I think it just means a little can be a lot. That's
Yeah, it said lizard.
Okay, I did say lizard in there. I think that's it. You
That's
guys
all
are
that matters.
amazing. I made a new button on my string deck, so it's going to look like we're going away, but we're only going away for the audio listeners. But I'm really excited to press the button. So I'm going to press the button. Love you guys. See you next time on Horseshoes and Hand Grenades. Bye.